Attack on Movies.
Paterson is the new film from Jarmusch and stars Adam Driver as Paterson, who curiously enough drives a bus through Paterson, New Jersey. He lives with a woman called Laura, played by Golshifter Farahani, who adores him, and together they own a pleasantly ugly dog. The days of his life are comfortably the same, but while his body is going through the humdrum rigmarole of daily life, his mind is busy conjuring beautiful poetry out of the minutiae of his existence. Jarmusch is among the world's most distinctive filmmakers, and Paterson fits unmistakably within his body of work, or oeuvre if we're feeling high-minded. Like many of his films, Paterson is largely episodic in structure. The film is divided up into the days of the week, and each day is reassuringly the same with some pleasant variations. Jarmusch's off-kilter sense of humour, his ability to find the absurd in the everyday, is also present and correct. Here Laura, Paterson's significant other, provides much of the comic relief. She is a dreamer who believes herself an artist, and so paints their home in ludicrous black and white patterns. She even daubs paint on her dresses. Jarmusch settles his unflinching camera on her and invites us to laugh, but we do so with the warmth of recognition. She is absurd, but surely we all have a little of this absurdity in us, even if we keep it in check. Paterson does more than simply sate the needs of Jarmusch's fans, however. Rather like his recent modernist vampire movie Only Lovers Left Alive, Paterson marks a step forward for the filmmaker that affects the way we look at the world, or at least helps us see it a little more clearly. It may be low-key and humorous, but it is also an ambitious work of art. The character Paterson finds beauty in the everyday miracles of existence. One of his poems begins with the elegant description of a match, its sliver of pine, and the shape of the lettering on the matchbox. This then becomes a love poem about Laura and how they ignite one another. His poems are not an escape, but a way of engaging with the world in a spiritual way. He is a man happy in his surroundings. Perhaps this is why Jarmusch chose to name the character Paterson, living in the city of Paterson. Perhaps this, Jarmusch is saying, is how to live a life of contentment. Other characters find meaning in different ways. The owner of the bar that Paterson visits every night plays himself at chess to prepare for tournaments. Another man, who also frequents the bar, doggedly pursues a woman who has rejected him because he believes himself in love with her, that his life will be dirt without her. And Paterson's boss at the bus depot complains bitterly about the drain his family put on his life, every morning without fail. All of this is delivered with Jarmusch's subtle eye for the absurd. The film then is about the things we do to give our lives shape and significance, whether those things help us to enjoy life, endure life, or escape the mundanity of life by imagining a better one that is surely just around the corner. This is undoubtedly a universal condition. Paterson is also a love story. Laura believes in Paterson's poetry and encourages him to share it with the world. She loves him, admires him, and understands him. She, on the other hand, has no discernible talent, but indulges her every artistic whim nonetheless. Paterson allows her to do so, offering positive reinforcement and even financial assistance, because he knows that she needs such illusions to live happily and wants to keep her afloat in her happy dreams. It's as truthful and romantic a depiction of love as you'll ever see. Driver is magnificent, by the way, and is at his best in the scenes he shares with Farahani. The confusion he wears on his long, weirdly charismatic face when confronted by yet another of Laura's artistic ideas is masked just enough to spare her feelings, but present enough for it to register with us. It's a masterful balancing act. Not that all of the praise for this can go to Driver. Jarmusch, with typical restraint, has a way of distilling his scenes to such an extent that we know what characters are thinking with barely the flicker of an expression. I should say that Paterson is not a pacey movie, if that's what you're looking for. Instead, it's a film to ease into, that invites us to look at the quirks and fascinations that make us who we are, and that ultimately determine how we choose to mark our small territories in this world. It is also a tad enigmatic, the kind of film that might benefit from repeat viewings. Not because it's confusing, but because it's so rich with meaning. rather like a poem that causes you to hesitate on every line before moving on. More than anything, it's a warm, worthwhile human experience, and among Jarmusch's finest achievements. Thank you for watching our review. If you enjoyed it, then why not subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and check out the rest of our content on AttackOnMovies.com. In the meantime, let us know your thoughts about Jim Jarmusch's Paterson. Goodbye. Until next time.